Living as a full-time traveler is a dream come true, right? You work a bit online, meet people from every corner of the globe, and experience life-changing adventures. And when you feel a little restless, you just book a flight and explore somewhere new. I've been living this way for the past 5 years now, so why do I feel so unhappy? Let's talk. Let me start this video by saying that I do not under any circumstances want to discourage anyone from traveling. I honestly do think that traveling is one of the best things you can do in life. It's such a journey of self-discovery, but it's a little different for everyone. So the least I can do on this channel, my channel, is give you a real perspective about what full-time travel is like and how I've been feeling about it lately. Oftentimes in the travel, maybe most times in the travel space, people just seem perpetually happy, and you need to know that is definitely not a reality. Behind the camera, there is someone that has thoughts and feelings and struggles just like your own. And honestly, I do include myself in that because I have often been like living through severe anxiety or some sort of panic attack, and I have gone out to make videos because sometimes it does make me feel better to just get out there and create. But of course, it's not something that I necessarily want to address in every video, so that's why I needed to make one like this. So of course, if you want to travel a lot in life, basically you do have to make travel your priority above everything else. And in the past 10 years, that's exactly what I've done, and I've made a lot of sacrifices, and many things have taken a backseat to travel. It's hard not to sound a little ungrateful when you're standing in such a beautiful place like this. I'm in the middle of a park in Kuching, Malaysia, one of the most underrated spots in the world. I'm so grateful for my travel journey. As I said, I've visited almost 50 countries. I've lived in 6 or 7 of them. But the truth of the matter is that I've made some substantial sacrifices in my life to do all of this, and recently I've been kind of reassessing all of them. One of the most impactful sacrifices for me is my love for music. I like writing music and composing music and playing music with my friends. And it's also very hard for me to compose on the road because I don't travel with instruments. I try to travel light. And yes, I've been considering getting a mini acoustic guitar, but the finances haven't been exactly stable. So unfortunately, that's never a priority either. Another impactful sacrifice that I've made is being away from my friends and family for the past 10 years. I have missed so many weddings, you have no idea. I even missed my own sister's wedding. Of course, being away from my parents is not easy. And I also have a 10-year-old niece that I did not get to spend much time with over the past decade. And I actually have a 1-year-old niece now and I'm hoping that maybe the story with her could be different. Another sacrifice we make as full-time travelers, of course, is the exercise routine. You can try to keep it up as much as possible, and I definitely do. I walk, I run, I do yoga, I swim, but the circumstances change, at least for me, every single month. So when you start adapting to a place or some sort of routine, it all changes on you pretty quick. Of course, another huge sacrifice is companionship in general. I started traveling 10 years ago, and in the beginning it was very much me against the world mentality, and I can do anything on my own and overcome any obstacles, and I love being alone, I'm happy with myself and all of these things. But over time it's become increasingly difficult to be alone, and of course I'm seeing all these beautiful things, but it would be nice to have someone to share it with. And of course, I do meet people during my travels. Oftentimes they are romantic relationships, but in a few days I might leave, that person might leave, and you start from scratch all over again every single month. And that leads me to another thing that I've been struggling with a lot lately, and that is the fact that when you are alone as much as I am, you start to think about things a lot, and your thoughts start to cycle around in your brain. Oftentimes they lead to negative thoughts of you comparing yourself to other people, overthinking, and a lot of self-doubt as well. And with that, I can segue into the next topic, which is alcohol. Of course, in coping with these feelings, I have definitely turned to alcohol in the past decade, and I definitely don't want to turn anyone away from drinking, especially during your travels, because I have had some of the best times drinking for sure. But as I've aged, I just turned 40 in June, and I've read about this. Your body starts to process alcohol in a very different way, and that has been very real for me. Every time I drink, I seem to suffer through some pretty severe anxiety for at least a week. So the benefits of the alcohol have really not been up there. And those prolonged recovery periods have really made me question if I even want to drink at all, because I often am afraid to drink because I know that I'm gonna need a lot of time to recover from it. As you travel, it's very tempting to just grab a beer and a lot of those feelings go away, but I've also never given my time to understand why I'm feeling these things. When alcohol is in the mix, you don't know if it's the alcohol causing things or if you're having some other type of problem. So it's really given me a chance to reassess my feelings as well. So I think a lot of me not being as excited about travel anymore does pass through the alcohol, but I'm sure it's not only that. But in general, I'm happy to say I am less irritable and I have been more excited about life recently. So again, I think I am headed in the right direction. I've also resumed some therapy sessions after a long time absent. I'm really happy about that. So I've been doing therapy every 10 days. Now, looking into the future, honestly, I am just completely unsure about how travel is going to fit into my life. Obviously, it's something I love. I've been doing it for the past decade and I've dedicated immense resources and time to this channel and to just traveling in general. But I do know some things that I want in my life moving forward, and that's to exert my creativity. I want to make music. I've never been much of a painter, but for some reason that's something that I've been wanting to do lately as well. And in general, I'm just seeking a more stable routine and of course a romantic relationship that lasts longer than a month. And that leads me to the short-term future of this channel. I'm finishing up travel in Malaysia, so I probably have about 5 weeks to go in Malaysia. And I'm just very excited to be bringing you videos from Southeast Asia because it's a region that I love so much and that I hadn't had a chance to cover here on the channel. After Malaysia, I will go to the Philippines for 3 months. That means that I will be spending New Year's in the Philippines, which I'm very excited about. And as for 2025, who the freak knows? I'm just gonna take it day by day, see how I feel. I'm also really excited to share something that I've been working on for the past year. And it's basically an ebook called 10 Things I Learned in 10 Years of Travel. And I'm really eager to share it because I put a lot of thought into it. It's not so much superficial lessons like how to book an Airbnb or anything like that. It's those really deep lessons that I've learned on this journey of self-discovery. And I just hope it helps people to get out there as well. Of course, everyone needs to go on their own travel journey and make their own mistakes. And I'm actually very glad of all the mistakes I've made because I've learned so much. But if I can make someone's travel path a little easier, sharing the things that I've experienced, I would be very happy to do so. Another thing that I'm excited about is that I finally hired an editor. What's up, Fahad? And that has really taken a load off because as you may or may not know, I teach about 6 hours of English as a foreign language every single day. And when I'm done with that, I have to jump on the editing. So I've been editing every single one of my videos for the past 4 years or so. So it's really nice to be able to take a load off and focus on some other things like my general well-being. And as for the long-term future of this channel, of course, I'm not entirely sure, but if I do make it back to Brazil in the next year, which I probably will, you might see a lot of content coming out of Brazil. Actually, a lot of my travel bucket lists are places in Brazil that I've never been to, so it would be cool to make like a journey to one of those places and document that here on the channel. I really do hope that this video sparks a conversation about this topic, so let me know if you've had any similar experiences in traveling. I would love to know your thoughts down in the comments. So in a nutshell, just remember that full-time travel is not a guaranteed path to happiness. It has its ups and downs, just like any other life. But of course, it can be extremely rewarding as well. So please do leave your comments below and I will see you on the next one.